Yo, what's going on, you guys? It's your man, the Grass Ninja. Welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're going to ask the question, has cloning broken Edo Tensei? Now, if you're new to the channel, we don't usually do a lot of explainer stuff and everything. We kind of formulate all of the evidence into one location so we can ask the right kind of questions so that we as a community can come up with interesting answers and theories and stuff. So, do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, share. Let me know what you guys are thinking about this, because today we're going to talk about how the impact of this cloning and all of the advancements of science has had on Tobirama's most broken jutsu, the Edo Tensei. Alright, so let's start this off by breaking down how Edo Tensei works, what you need to be able to pull it off, and what you can do to stop it, right? So, back in OG Naruto, we saw Orochimaru pull up to the third, infiltrating the Leaf Village, and he reanimated the first and second Hokage, right? Now, this is our introduction to Edo Tensei. We learn later from Kabuto and everybody else that in order to reanimate somebody, right, you're going to need a sample of their DNA. So you're going to need their flesh, their blood, their hair, some sort of sample of their DNA. You're going to need a sufficient amount of it as well. The other thing that you'll need in order to pull off the Edo Tensei is for the ninja or the person who you're reanimating, their soul cannot be sealed away. It actually has to be within the Pure Lands. Now, there's a couple of weird ways to avoid going into the Pure Lands. We have higher dimensions and stuff. So, for one, here's a question for you guys. We know Kakashi's dad, Sakumo Hatake, right? We know Kakashi's dad died, he killed himself, and then he kind of sat in purgatory waiting to meet Kakashi. We also know that Rin sort of sat within the limbo purgatory waiting for Obito, okay? Then we also have the in-between realm right before death that Naruto and Sasuke met Hagoromo in. So there's the Pure Lands, which we don't actually ever see, and then there's the Purgatory realm, which is the in-between realm when you have unfinished business, when your soul just has to linger on. You have some sort of attachment to the realm of the living still. Now, could Kabuto or Orochimaru reanimate Sakumo Hatake if his soul was still sitting in the Purgatory realm waiting to talk to Kakashi? Could you bring back Rin? Right? Because if their souls aren't technically in the Pure Lands, could you bring them back? You know, that's what I'm going to say. But also, the other limitations is if you're sealed away. Right? We learned that sealing jutsu is basically the biggest breakdown to a bunch of stuff. If your soul is sealed away in the Reaper's belly, guess what? That means your soul's not in the Pure Land, so Edo Tensei wouldn't be able to retrieve it. Okay? Same thing with Itachi's sword. If you get hit with the Totsuka blade, you're basically sitting inside the gourd within the Genjutsu realm of Drunken Dreams. Same thing with Nagato's Naraka path. The King of Hell will just swallow you up and drag you to hell. Guess what? That's not the Pure Lands. So there's a bunch of ways to not get caught up in Edo Tensei, and I feel like cloning might have just broken Edo Tensei entirely. So let's say, for one, the requirements for Edo Tensei was a DNA sample. You need a sufficient amount of DNA. Alright, well, with cloning, you take someone's DNA and then you replicate their form, right? Orochimaru has the Shin clones and Mitsuki, right? He has an army of these dudes, all replicated from the same DNA. They all have the same genetic makeup. They're physically the same. Now, Amado takes it a step further, right? And he's able to program memories into these clones' bodies. In an effort to bring back his daughter, Akebi Sanzu, she suffered from some illness and her body started to deteriorate and crumble. She was basically fated to die. Amado took her body, cloned her a new one, and then downloaded all of the information in her brain. So he downloaded all of her memories, everything that she remembers, all of her experiences, everything that basically makes her Akebi, and he uploaded it into a clone body of Akebi. So he made a new shell for his daughter to live in. when he did that, despite the clone being a perfect copy, it had all of Akebi's memories, everything that she experienced, it had every part of her physical anatomy, despite, minus the crap that killed her, I guess, because why would you clone her in a deficient body? Whatever, he basically perfected Akebi, but every time he reproduced this clone and did this experiment, despite everything running perfectly, he created a different person. Their personalities were never the same. Now, Amado also says that he tried this on a multitude of times. No matter how many times he replicated it, he cannot duplicate the same personality. So even though he tried to bring back Akebi with his test trial number 1, when he did test trial number 2 and he made another clone of Akebi, that delta was different than the first delta, and then delta 2 was different than delta 3, and so on. So he's out here realizing that there's no way for me to replicate personality. This is the limitations of man, right? This is the limitations of science. Now, I always had a problem with him saying that because Edo Tensei quite literally pulls down the person's soul and personality and then anchors it to like some victim, right? So it's not the limitations of humanity, it's the limitations of science. But now that science has come so far to the point where we can replicate people, right? We can put their body and their minds into a new person, right? This is scary because he's not only replicating people, he's replicating their chakra signatures. Okay, so we learned through Kashin Koji, right, that he does retain some memories. He has flashes of Konoha, right? So he has some of Jiraiya's memories that Amado just doesn't give him full access to, even though we know he could, right? Unless he didn't download all of Jiraiya's brain or whatever. Who knows how he did that? Anyway, he has flashes of Jiraiya's memories, and he can infiltrate Konoha despite their security system. So his chakra is already registered in the Yamanaka clan's chakra sensory network, which means they have records of Jiraiya's chakra, and that's why they don't detect anything wrong with Kashin Koji. So since he can infiltrate Konoha, because his chakra signature is the same as Jiraiya's, and he has the DNA of Jiraiya, right? If we were to try to, say Ishiki did kill Kashin Koji, right? We don't know for sure, you know, we didn't see him die or whatever, we saw him escape. So if Kashin Koji, hypothetically, don't kill me in the comments, let's say he is dead, right? And we tried to Edo Tensei Jiraiya back or Kashin Koji back. How do we know we're pulling out the right guy? Okay, because if we use a DNA sample from Jiraiya, it's the same DNA as Kashin Koji's, right? Despite their personalities being different, right? Their chakra and their DNA is the same, which is weird. So if we try to bring back Akebi with Edo Tensei, just so Amado can get off his shit and stop acting all crazy, right? Trying to bring back Ototsukis and stuff, giving Kawaki a karma with someone else's data in it. Ridiculous. Otherwise, if we were trying to bring back Akebi with Edo Tensei, has Amado just ruined that for himself, right? After replicating like XYZ different numbers of Delta clones, how many different souls of Delta are actually in the Pure Lands right now? Because sure, they might all have the same look and physical feature, but since he can recreate the mind, right, he's reproducing the same chakra signature as well. This is scary, you guys, because what is chakra? Chakra is one part your physical energy or your physical body, your life energy, and then the other part is your mental or spiritual energies, bro. So the fact that he can take somebody's mental faculties, download their whole brain, all of their memories and experiences, and then upload it into a cloned body of that same person, is he just reproducing like is he like hacking out Edo Tensei? That's what I have to ask you guys. Because the fact that there's probably like 6 different deltas, it's just a random number, relax. But the fact that there's multiple different deltas that have been destroyed or replicated or whatever, however it might be, because we do know Amado said that no matter how many times he tried, he could never reproduce a similar or the same personality, right? He couldn't reproduce Akebi's, he couldn't reproduce any of the first ones that he made either. Right? And the same thing with Kashin Koji. He has flashes of Jiraiya's memories, but he's not Jiraiya, okay? So he has Jiraiya's chakra and his blood, but he's not Jiraiya. So I'm going to ask you, like if Orochimaru tried to bring back Jiraiya right now and he hit Edo Tensei, who's going to come out? Kashin Koji, Jiraiya, some weird amalgamation of the two guys? Is this how we get Naruto fusion? Or would it not work, right? Would you not be able to use Edo Tensei on a clone? Because even Orochimaru has an army of Mitsukis. These dudes are all the same. All of them, even the Shin clones, all the same. That's Shin's whole thing. It's not even a Kekkei Genkai, it's just some weird body ability where he's basically a walking stem cell. So if you were to reanimate Shin, how do you know you're bringing back the main guy or not any of the dead clones? Like, that's the main question. Did cloning break Edo Tensei? Because I'm going to remind you guys again, in order to perform Edo Tensei, you need a DNA sample of whoever you're trying to bring back, right? If you want to bring back Itachi, you need Itachi's DNA. You know, now when you grab Itachi's DNA and you grab a victim, you perform the right hand seals, you can pull Itachi's soul from the Pure Lands and bind it to one of these vessels, one of these victims, and then you'll get a reanimated Itachi. Can you use the DNA of somebody who's been cloned a bunch of different times in order to pull their chakra from the Pure Lands, especially if some of those clones have died? Do clones have souls? Or, like, that's the main question. Does Mitsuki have a soul? What about Shin? What about Delta? What about Kashin Koji? Like, how does that work? And that's the main question I have for you guys in this video, bro. Did Amado and Orochimaru break Edo Tensei through cloning? Like, has science broken ninjutsu? Now anybody who's a clone or has had their DNA tampered with or cloned can't be reanimated. I don't know. Let me know what you guys are thinking in the comment section down below. We're gonna do a bigger video. We're trying to work on something with, like, what the hell is the true nature of chakra in general, but you know, that's way more complicated and I don't want to spoil anything. So do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, leave a like on the video, comment down below your thoughts and everything, I guess. Have a nice day, you guys. Peace.